Hello and welcome to the third episode of Designer Speak. I'm your host, Christopher Scott, and today I'm with Nicolas Camacho and Santiago Gómez. Today we're going to talk about how to be a good designer. So, Santiago, what for you is the key to being a good designer?
For me, the first thing is you need to have a passion. So when you're doing something, you need to put your own soul in your work. Also, you need to have determination. I mean, like sometimes you're not going to do the best work, but you need to have that determination. You keep going and keep working and pushing yourself to be better. That is for me the key point in how to become a good designer, because good designers is more than your work is in around the world. It's how do you feel with your work. I mean, like when you're a good designer, you can get your point of view of a topic and show to the people, and the people can say like I like it or I don't like it. But it's how do you feel? That is for me how you can be a good designer. Right, Nicolas?
Yeah, for me, for example, being a good designer is basically the question, can't you be a bad designer sometimes? Can't you risk sometimes making mistakes? I think making mistakes is the price of the education we might need to get.
Mistakes is like, to be good at something you need to feel.
Exactly.
Failure is important for anything.
For example, when you really, like you say, you have passion for doing something and you want to strive to do it, you're gonna do it until you truly feel you're making progress. Even if you don't feel the progress at the beginning, you might feel a bit frustrated, but you need to keep going. I think for excelling in anything, any endeavor in human life, you need to pass through that frustration mode that sometimes our mind set us. But going beyond that, give us a sense of realization, happiness.
Yeah, because like if you're a designer and you're like trying to get an idea, there's a lot of frustration involved in that. There's a lot of frustration in trying to get that perfect idea. But it's that passion, it's that determination,
Passion and
keep working to try to be better and not get you at that end goal.
Exactly. One of the key things is like, for example, if you, I remember for the book that when you really only have one single idea in your head, is the most dangerous thing you can have. Having just one idea is probably the certain case that you're going to be wrong about something. You always need a plan B. You always need a different plan. You always need a different option, different path to take. And in the case of design, you always need to say something more than what you're expected to say.
Go down different paths that maybe you didn't go before.
Right, and between you have more and more ideas, you keep making bigger and nicer kind of concept, enhancing the concept, and actually growing the idea.
So it's not just about, okay, I have a brief, I sketch, oh that's it done. It's more about like it's that evolution of research, development, and getting like, it's like climbing stairs.
I believe there is some form of making kind of sorcery, might be, in which a designer can visualize a different forms of world reality, and he actually designs that thing, and he can change it, things from within to the outer world. I think it's true.
But also you need to have to follow your instincts. You need to have like when you get the first idea, maybe you are wrong, maybe you're right, but you need to follow that instincts, and you need to express what you're feeling in that moment, and maybe you can have a connection with the audience.
Yeah, it's instincts are very important as a designer, but I think you learn that. I think you learn those instincts.
It's a process.
It's like a process. It's like I say to all my students, a good designer knows how to see. When they're walking up a street, or they're walking up and they're sitting in a bus or they're in an environment, designers know how to see shapes, they know how to see forms, they know how to see colors, light, shadow in around them. designers see things, good designers see things differently than
The common people.
like the general public. And designers like see things that other people don't see. They see ghosts, but they see and I always say to my students is designers create work that other people see. So it's really important that good designers or good students understand how people see things, how people see colors, how people see shadows, how people see light, how people see ideas, concepts. So it's those eyes of the other people, and they need to understand those visual elements.
Yeah, most of the important thing I think that designers could do is pass through these German words called Einstellung. That means this word Einstellung means being blocked with the wrong conception of a certain idea or certain problem.
It's like creative block.
It's a creative block. And the thing is, designers can pass through that because this is the only profession that allows you to work with metaphors and analogies and to actually make that bridge toward a solution for things. For example, if you read any of these books, they use all the times that poetic kind of language that's called metaphors and analogies through images, through words, through typography and things like that. So I think
that's essentially what graphic design is those images, those words, those phrases. That's what graphic design is essentially. But I think that actually the creative block could be actually another topic. Like how do you break that creative block?
But creative block is something that is always going to be there.
Oh yeah, of course. All the best designers in the world have creative blocks. Anyone who says that they never have creative block is lying.
It's true.
Exactly. I think the designers will always need to find limitless resources everywhere they go. Like what you said, if you walk around the street, looking at colors, looking at people,
observing.
What do the people, my target, to whom I want to communicate, want to see, want to hear, what do they need to hear, how could I communicate to them, and what could I do to improve their lives?
For me, more than we don't have a target. We have a public in general. So we need to have for me, it's one word, connection, patient. Because you need to have that connection with the people. I mean, like you're in the bus and you're watching. I do this exercise all the time. I'm in the bus and I look at the people and I try to think what they are thinking. If they are looking the bus stops, if they are looking the chairs, if they are looking the old man in sitting in the chair, all of that stuff. And it's like I put myself in their shoes and I try to get that connection. And for me, in design, I can explain my idea.
So then in that case, like if you're trying to be a good designer, then you need to put yourself in other people's shoes, or what the problem.
Exactly.
But actually, that's understanding the target.
Yeah, like so.
Because
To be a good graphic designer is more than just understanding a target or to understand your topic.
understanding the person. Actually, I heard certain cases
To understand yourself.
Yeah, but in some cases, in most of the creative enterprises, they even make a poster of the person they're targeting. They draw their faces. They describe what they do, how do they brush their teeth, what do they like to do, what are their habits and stuff like that, and hobbies, because they want to make it like a friend to them. And in that way, they can communicate with them because they're always spending time with them, because they understand them, they see them everywhere they go. And probably they become a part of their environment. So I think we need to understand something.
Yeah, obviously we need to understand the target.
But one of the things I think, decomposing the word good designers, I think sometimes people shouldn't be like always striving to be good designers. Well, not to try to be bad designers, but actually decomposing the word.
Oh yeah, I'm going to try to be a bad designer.
Decomposing the word, what good means.
And that's the thing, right?
Point.
Actually,
That is a good point, because like what is good and what is bad. Like for me, you can have an ugly design, but it's perfect for that situation or it's perfect for that message.
But I think is the objective of that design was true. The thing that makes it good, or something that helps society, something that benefits society, that is useful, that brings some sort of intentions for advantages or improvement of useful or services, doing something for the community and contributing something for the people. I think that's what makes a good design, because it has a different sort of perspective than to make just good design. I mean,
Yeah, because good and bad is a very hard, especially in design, it's a very hard way to
visual art.
What's good or what's bad, like what artist is good or what artist is bad, or what designer is good or what designer is bad. But yeah, I think that's an interesting way to end this topic. I hope it's been useful for you. Please like our Facebook page, view our YouTube videos. We're really starting to get into Designer Speak, and we're hoping that it grows to be a useful tool for education, for designers in general. So please, I'd like to thank Nicolas and Santiago for being here with me today. I'm your host, Christopher Scott, and we are Designer Speak. Bye.
Goodbye, guys.